Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Bird, Nick, and tonight we are going to listen. Well, tonight is when I'm recording it. Today is when you're probably listening to it. I don't know. Whenever you listen to this, I will be listening to some of your calls, and we'll be doing a little Ask the Pulpit because I went to bed last night and thought to myself, I don't know what tomorrow's show is going to bring, but I'll figure it out tomorrow. I'll get up early and I'll make it happen first thing in the morning. And well,
it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
And I didn't do that. And I got busy with newspaper stuff. And next thing you know, it's like 7 o'clock and I'm putting the call out on the Facebook, saying, hey, I could use some calls. So maybe give me a ring. And, I got a couple. I had a couple, but I got a couple more. So, it's not going to be like I'm racking and stacking like 20 calls here tonight, but hopefully the ones I have are quality and we can get through them and have a good time. So anyway, let's light up a cigar. And today I want to do a little product, recommendation here, a little free plug. I shouldn't do free plugs. Everybody should pay. But I'm going to do a little free plug here for a second because I've been using the hell out of this humidor. So I cleaned and organized my office recently. And in the process of doing so, I found a very simple travel humidor that I got at TPE this year. And I had completely forgotten that I brought it down to PCA to store cigars, and B, I completely forgot I had a whole bunch of cigars in it. And so when I found it, I was like, what's in this thing? And I've been smoking some of the treasures in there, and that's been nice. But I tracked down this handy dandy little humidor. So it's Cigar Bros humidor. It's, they work with Bovita, and this thing, for those of you on the video, you can see this. It's styrofoam. It's like a foam kind of thing. And it's got this little corner here, and you just pop it, and it's got a little foam lid, and it's got all the cigars in there. And all you do is just throw a little Bovita pack in there and, keep it secured. And, it works great. And this thing, this one, I think they say technically holds like, I think they say 20. I think it's a 20 count, which seems about right based upon what I have in there. Yeah, this thing's been awesome. And so I just want to give a little shout out because I've been keeping that out in the garage, on the desk out here. And, it's been nice because I have a nice, decent sized supply of cigars out here in, the garage on the desk. And then that way I don't have to always be running inside the house to find something. Anyway, just wanted to give them a shout out. It was a nice product and it's very simple and it travels well. And, I'm going to give them a little bit of a plug for that. I'll tell you what also works really well before I get into the cigar. What also works really well as a small travel humidor for the car is the VHS box for the Two Guys Smoke Shop's 1985s. So I have two 1985s in this box, but I have been using this on when I do my deliveries for the newspaper, getting in the car. I just throw maybe 5 cigar. I load it up. I put 5 cigars in that little box, and it's nice. It's just right there. Now, granted, I have an actual, travel humidor, but it's small, it's thin, it's compact, it's perfect. It's almost like a 5-finger case would be the best way for me to describe it. So the little VHS box with the 1985s has worked well as a little travel humidor. Anyway, today I'm going to be smoking an old favorite. I'm going to be smoking the Aladino Cameroon Robusto. It's a 5x50 featuring an Honduran Cameroon wrapper and Corojo binder and filler. This cigar sells for $10.89 for a single on twoguyscigars.com. The box sells for $229.99, and if you do the math, it's a box of 24. That brings the per stick price down to $9.58 if you do buy a box. So, you buy the box, you get a better price for the single. And it's time to cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by, guess who? twoguyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family owned and operated, twoguyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to twoguyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. And remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com, and you can get your Aladino Cameroon. There it is. Aladino Cameroon on the website. I'm having fun with the video tonight. So anyway, with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. So we're going to give this guy a cut, and then we will apply some appropriate fire to it. And then we will get into the fun. So, ironically, while I light the cigar, let's listen to the greatest commercial you've ever heard.
Some say cigars are all the same. It's just not true. It's you I have to blame.
Well, I don't know, 'cause what I know, there is a cigar called Aladino Corojo.
Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. They say authentic, so we're not confused, while the others say it's a word that's just abused.
I guess that's so. They can't compete. At least I'm sure Aladino can't be beat.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Cigars uses authentic Corojo tobacco from JRE Tobacco. This is the greatest commercial you ever heard.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that the cigar is lit and we're going, let's roll right into the fun.
Shall we play a game?
You talking to me? I have a question for you.
You gotta ask me nicely.
Ask me about my winner.
You got a question? You ask the 8-ball.
Come on, sucker.
Let's
get it on.
All right, it is time for Ask the Pulpit, and we have a handful of calls here, so we're going to go ahead and just take them as we have them here, and we got this one. So it looks like we maybe have 4 or 5. So we'll go ahead and we will start with this one.
Good morning, Nick. This is Jacob again.
What's
Hopefully
up,
I don't
Jacob?
make an ass out of myself like the last time I called in. But I just wanted to touch base with you on your TRT or testosterone replacement therapy that you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And I've actually looked into it. I've had a lot of good friends have some great results with this. However, I have some concerns as well. I've talked to my doctor about it, and I use the VA, so they're not very big on providing any kind of testosterone therapy.
Wouldn't think
unless
so.
you're unless it's deteriorating your health from lack of testosterone. Everything else is considered within range. So either way, a couple things about it. Number one is it's still very, very, very new.
Oh.
I mean, there was a time when steroids were a great thing too. Not that this is the same level. That's the next thing is it's not quite the same level as steroids. So from what my doctor was telling me, is that you should not get the negative side effects that steroids cause. There is a chance of testicle shrinkage. That's just because
God.
I mean, you are adding testosterone to your body, so your body doesn't want to produce as much. So that is a side effect as well. Once you start taking this stuff, it's basically a life sentence. So
Oh, God.
when you start taking it, your body doesn't feel the need to produce anymore. So you're going to have to take it, for a long time. And eventually your body can start producing testosterone again, but it will be months. And then once you start on your own testosterone, you're never going to feel the same like you did when you were on it. So you're not going to feel the same. Depression can set in. There's a lot of negative side effects to quit taking it. But again, I've heard a lot of great success stories. My only concern is it's still very new. I don't know anybody who's been on it for more than 2 years. So what happens in the long run? But some things to consider. Again, not knocking it. I'm still considering doing it myself. But, just some things to think about. All right. Stay smoky. Have a great day.
Well, thanks for the call, Jacob. I'll be honest. So, as I sit here and record this, I have my checkup with my doctor on Wednesday, October 1st. I go in that morning. I've got one test I've got to do a follow up on, and just, it's a 3 month. Well, I guess it's actually more like closer to 4 months, because we didn't, when I called to schedule the 3 month, they already were booked up. And so we pushed it out another month. So it's more like 4 months. So anyway, we got a little bit of a 4 month checkup, going on, for a few things. And so, it's on my list to inquire. I'll be honest. I didn't really, I haven't taken the time to dig into it. It was more just a question of hey, how much would it cost for me to have the test done, just to see if it's actually a concern. I don't know if it is or not, to be honest. I mean, I would assume that there's probably some lessened, just due to age, but, I don't know. But on the flip side of that, the prospect of taking it for the rest of my life, the prospect of testicle shrinkage, dear God, I really don't need to go down that road. I mean, that's not something I'm enthusiastic about at all. So I it's one of those things. My doctor's pretty cool about, being blunt, which I appreciate. I don't want a doctor that's going to sugarcoat it. I also don't want a doctor that's necessarily going to, I want a doctor that's going to present both sides of the argument, but I want one that's going to directly tell me, this is what I think, and just be blunt, because, that's what I pay them for. And I know it's my own body and I should be taking ownership of my decisions. And obviously if I disagree, if it's something I really feel as though I need, then I weigh it and go from there. But truthfully, I'm probably going to err on the side of the physician's advice. And so far I've been very happy with this doctor. So, we'll see. But yeah, I appreciate the update there. I mean, it's, like I said, it's not something that I'm sitting here going I'm definitely doing it, but it's also not something that I'm sitting here going okay, I don't think I need that. Let's just do the test, see where it is, and then we can discuss the pros and cons of all of it. I don't like the idea of better living through chemistry. So that's another thing to consider there. If this is a pill or an injection that I have to take forever, and I didn't realize this is a new thing. I thought this was around for a while. I didn't realize this is relatively new. There's questions. There's questions to be answered. Oh yeah. Just to give everybody an update. As of now, I am 65 down from March 1st. So, for what it's worth, miles to go before I sleep, but I'm 10 pounds away from a pretty, one of my next benchmarks. And then from there, you know, we have a little more to go, but, well, not a little more, but we're, truthfully, when I hit that 10, I hate to say it, I'll be halfway there. You know, which is great. I'm not diminishing it. I just hate that I let myself get to that point, but, you know, at least I didn't end up on one of those shows where it's like, you know, my 800-pound life or something like that. And, you know, at no point did I ever think that they'd have to knock down a wall to get me out of my house if I pass away in the night. So that's good. I got that going for me. You know, you got to catch it before you get to the knock down the wall stage. You know, it's like if you're wiping your ass with a rag on a stick, you've gone too far. Anyway, moving on to the next call here.
Hey, Jerry, please here.
Of course.
A 1,000 apologies up front there, Mr. Miller. Missing out on your smoking fest get-together there down there in Florida, as it turns out.
David Edwards.
I had all intentions of coming and joining in the festivities. As it turns out, I did get stopped in the airport. Apparently, I do not have one of these fancy new real IDs, and I got apprehended and patted down for impersonating Jerry Plasky, or they did not think I was the real Jerry Plasky. They thought I was an imposter, and I had no other way to provide proof that I wasn't. I did give them, against their wishes, a semen and a stool sample at the airport there.
Against their wishes.
They did not appreciate that, as it turns out. And I was apprehended. I hope to make it next year. They should give me and my court-appointed guardian, John Quimby, enough time to get me one of those fancy updated IDs to prevent any further mishaps. Sorry I missed ya. I'll see you soon.
You know, Jerry, Dave and Ed were the guys that were truly disappointed that you didn't make it down. You know, the real IDs, I've heard people talking about those, and I've had one for a while now, because as soon as Illinois rolled it out, I figured, you know, screw it, let's go ahead and do it. And I got the letter, and it's just a little extra paperwork. I mean, it's not like it's so much extra stuff that it's not worth doing. I mean, look, if you're somebody who never flies, then, you know, maybe it's not worth it. But if you're somebody who thinks that you're going to take an airplane at least once a year, it's, you know, unless you want to bring your passport, assuming you have a passport, that's something to consider. Realistically, it hasn't been that bad, getting a real ID. The only, I will say it's a little annoying, when the letter that the Secretary of State sends you says you need XYZ and you bring XYZ, and then all of a sudden they're telling you, oh no, we also need this thing. And, or this doesn't count. You need to do this. And it's like, well, wait a minute. The letter specifically said that. And you have to figure it out because you don't want to lose your line or place in line at the DMV because you've already stood there for 2 freaking hours. I don't know, whatever. I truly hate the DMV. But that's neither here nor there. So anyway, it looks like, we got another call from our friendly neighborhood, crawl space dweller here. So we'll see.
Hey, Jerry Plasky here again.
Yep.
Hey, I wanted to call in here. I recently obtained some Wi-Fi illegally there, and I was able to listen to your recent episode about what you would do if you won the lottery there. I have a couple of suggestions of what I would do. You can go ahead and sign me right up there for joining you naked in one of those Bora Bora festivities you talked about there. I think that would be incredibly fun and romantic to do that with you there. You can pencil me down for that.
Oh, dear.
I would also like my blood to be completely changed to blackberry brandy. I would like to have a transfusion of sorts there and get that done. I've been trying the old-fashioned way, these many years, and it has not worked. I would like a more direct method there, as it turns out. And I would also like to clear the good name of Jerry Pulaski by paying off all my fines, and if nothing else, getting my ankle bracelet to be gold-plated there. Anywho, that's what I would do. I would like to listen to anybody else's what they would like to do, and maybe they could even join us there, Nicholas, and Bora Bora there. Anywho, talk to you later. Stay smoky.
Jerry, I just don't know if I want to party when I'm hanging out naked in the hut in Bora Bora there. I mean, that's not a group activity. And I like you, dude, but I'm not even sure I want you. In fact, I'm fairly confident that I'm 100% confident. I don't want to share a hut with you naked either there, Jerry. That's a little too intimate. Just not into that. Not into that. So you know, I mean, you mean the hut that's way down, past the tree line on the other side of the island. You know, we can fly down there together once you get your real ID, go our separate ways to our respective huts, do our thing, and then we can reconvene at the airport and talk about how wonderful of a time we had. But I don't know if I need to be, having the visual of Jerry Pulaski naked in a hut in Bora Bora. I do appreciate you calling and telling me, what you would do if you won the lottery, though. I think it's fun to just kind of goof around and speculate on that. I actually was reading an article the other day about a lady who used Chat GPT to somehow or another win the lottery. I asked Chat GPT about it, and it basically said that it's a game of chance, and there's nothing that they can do to help me except to provide me some sort of cycling method where you pick numbers and you just do this. But to be honest, that seems like you got to invest a lot of money in order to have a chance. And I don't like that promise. I don't like that premise. I guess they say you can't win if you don't play, but I don't want to play. I just want to win. Anyway, thank you, Jerry, for the calls. I appreciate it as always. Moving on to the next call here.
Dude, I've been having a few drinks here, so
oh boy,
it's going to take a sec, but let me introduce myself.
Drunk Teddy.
First time listener, a long time caller, I guess. This is Teddy. Teddy Gorilla or something on the I don't know. Either way, it's Teddy. Hey man, first of all, I want to first give a big congratulations to our man Justin. I saw the wedding. I saw the picture of him getting married, and he did it, man. And man, beautiful bride. Beautiful life, man. I'm just, blessed that y'all I'm just praying that y'all have a blessed life, blessed wife, all that good stuff, man. So first of all, big congrats to Justin. Second of all, I just want to tell all the parishioners, hey, how y'all doing? Know it's been a long time since y'all heard from me and everything, but it's been a busy life, but good life though. So anyway, y'all stay blessed, stay smoky, and I'll probably call maybe several times. Holler later. Bye.
Well, he didn't. He only called once. Teddy, it's always nice to hear from you. And yes, we need to do a big Cigar Pulpit congratulations to our man Justin, who works down there at the Ash and Ale in Palm Coast, Florida. He got married. And it looked, they posted one photo, and it looks, Teddy's right. He's a gorgeous bride, and, Justin looks like a proud husband, and, good for them. I know he's been squirreling away money and really, really working hard to, prepare for this day. And, that's really awesome, Justin. I'm really happy for you. So, much wishes for a good life going ahead. So, and then Teddy, I know you've been busy. You got the newish, I guess, a couple months now, newish job. Kind of getting some things in line hammering some things out. And so that's good. And then Teddy, obviously, speaking of getting passports, Teddy did secure his passport. And so our man Teddy there is he was the big winner of the trip to the Aladino farm at Pulpit Fest. And so he's, I know, anxiously awaiting the go order to buy plane tickets to head on down to Honduras. And let me tell you, that's if there's ever a time I wish I had like a camera crew to just follow him and to document this would be the trip. The prospect of taking Teddy and plunking him onto a farm in Honduras. The premise, it's a sitcom. It's just waiting to happen. I think it's going to be wonderful. The stories that are going to come from that are going to be outrageous. So Teddy, I'm looking forward to hearing them, and it's good to hear from you tonight, man. All right. So we have one more call here. And then we will, kind of keep doing our thing. So, all right.
Hey, Nick, it's Paul from Texas.
What up, Paul?
I just saw your call for backup on Facebook that you needed some calls.
I did.
So here you go. Got a couple of questions for you.
Perfect.
I like listening to Steve Saka. I know he's a jerk or whatever, but I just love the way he interviews, and I could listen to him for hours, and I do. I'll typically once a month look for any new Steve Saka interviews on YouTube and listen to the whole thing. So my question to you is, who are 3 guests that you have not had on the show in the cigar business that you really want? Is Steve Saka one of them? Who could we politic to get for your show? And my next question to you is, we got fall coming up. So what 3 things are you looking forward to the most about fall? Is it your pumpkin spice lattes, football? For me, I just love, because I live in Texas, it's always hot here. So I just love some really good cigar smoking weather. That's what I'm looking forward to. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. So I'm taking notes here. So it's 3 guests that I want and 3 things about fall that I'm looking forward to. Paul, thank you so much for the call. You always have good conversational questions, and I appreciate that. We have to get Paul and Sean on the show again and do a call with the 3 of us where we smoke the McAuliffes, because we told Dan Thompson at PCA that we were going to smoke all of the colors and smoke them all and kind of like determine the differences and what we like and what we maybe kind of rank them, personal rankings and things of that nature. And we haven't done that yet, and so we need to do that. So Paul, make note. We need to do that sometime. Okay. So let's address the guest situation first as it pertains to Steve Saka. I am going to politely just plead the 5th. I'm not going to get into anything. He has probably no idea who I am, and that's fine. I don't need to be on his radar. I had an interaction at TPE, and, I'm good. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I try to be positive. Anyway, guests I have not had on the podcast that I would like to have on the podcast. Who would I really like to interview? That's a tricky question because, I've been very fortunate to have a number of people that I really do like or people that I was interested in speaking with come onto the show. There are people out there who I haven't had on the show. It's not that I wouldn't speak to them. It's just that maybe it's not been like something that I'm like clamoring for. I don't know, I don't know how to answer this, Paul, without it coming across. I don't want to shit on anybody. So I'm trying to answer this in a very diplomatic fashion. Who do I know? I mean, I don't know who to lobby. Because at this point, the people that I want to interview, I have the means to reach out and make happen. The people that I don't, it's not a priority to me. I maybe don't have that might be part of the means that, or the reason that I haven't interviewed them. I don't know. I mean, there's obviously cigar smoking celebrities that might be fun, but realistically, it's going to be like, tell me about cigars, and then then you get into all the other stuff. I don't know. Maybe a better question. Maybe I'm going to pivot this back to all of you. Who have I not had on the show that you think I should have? And pitch me why. Because, after 6 years of doing this, thing and having it for 2 episodes a week for all of that time, with the exception of maybe the first month and a half of doing the show, I've interviewed a lot of people, and I've been very fortunate to do so. And I've been very fortunate to be able to circle back with a number of them. I mean, there are some that I've only encountered once, that to be honest would be kind of fun. Like, I think I've only had Dusty Slay on the episode one time. I saw him when he came to St. Louis was that May? That may have been May of last year. We sat out and had cigars, but we didn't record an episode or anything like that. So, I think, interviewing Dusty, circling up with him, because I mean, shit, he was just on Kill Tony, I think not too terribly long ago. He's done 2 Netflix specials since I had him on the show. I mean, Dusty's kind of he's blown up a little bit more than when I first had it. And hell, he couldn't even smoke at the time I had him on the show the last time, because he had just had that whatever surgery. I think he had his appendix out or something. I don't remember what he had removed, but he couldn't smoke, and so he couldn't even have a cigar. So that might be one that I should circle back to. I really enjoyed my conversation with Nick Melillo. Nick Melillo was a very different interview than what I expected. I'd encountered him at TPE, and sometimes it seems like he has the two sides of Nick Melillo. There's the hey, Nick Melillo, Nicaragua, bringing you cigars, blah, 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 and all that kind of the showman side, the almost Drew Estate-y kind of side, and but then there's Nick Melillo talking about, history and all of the finding out he has multiple degrees. I mean, the man's brilliant and everything. And so I think it would be kind of interesting. I don't know. I enjoyed that conversation a lot, and I think it would be interesting to circle back to him at some point again. Who else? I don't know. I've never had anybody from Drew Estate. Not for lack of trying. It's just one of those things that nobody, I've never had anybody from Drew Estate. I would be interested in discussing, the essentially the boom of flavored cigars, on the industry. And cause I mean, let's be real. When you think about flavored cigars, they're kind of the dominant leader. And then on top of that, what happens if flavored cigars are taken away? Like, what is, do they have any sort of a strategy in place, about that? Now, whether or not I would ever get that information out of somebody, I don't know. But that might be interesting, but that's the thing. I can't say that I've got a really deep wish list, to be honest, because I have been very, very fortunate that people have been open to the prospect of coming on and discussing things with me. And obviously, I mean, I think most of my interviews have gone fairly well to where, they would, they've been interested in coming back and continuing the conversation. So, there's that. I will say the next time I have Husto on the show, it's going to be the nerdiest freaking podcast you guys have ever heard, because Husto is a giant Star Trek guy. And, let me tell you, he and I we're going to go deep into Star Trek. So fair warning, the next time you see a new episode from me featuring Husto Aroa of Aladino, if you're not into Star Trek, I'm just telling you right now, that's what we're talking about. I'm going to ask him about cigars, and we're going to get right into Star Trek. So, and probably other sci-fi. He dropped a few other sci-fi shows to me when we briefly discussed it at Pulpit Fest. So yeah, no, trust me, we're going to nerd. And, if you don't like it, well, tough titties. Then, your other question about 3 things about fall that I look forward to. I love autumn. It is my favorite season. I like the temperatures in spring. Spring around St. Louis tends to bring a lot of rain. Rain is not conducive for sitting out and enjoying the nice weather and having cigars and doing that. Winter in St. Louis sucks. It's cold. It's snowy. It can be icy. Winter in St. Louis it's cold. It's no fun. It's no fun. And summer in St. Louis, we had a brief spell this summer that got really, really hot. But this year's summer actually was pretty good in the grand scheme of it all. But we do get very humid and very shitty and hot here in St. Louis for a little while too. So I'm not the biggest summer guy. And to be honest, part of that is because, I am a portly man of size, and, when you're built like me, it's no fun being super hot. I like my fall and winter wardrobe better. I like the big chunky sweatshirts and jeans, and I like fall the best. So in terms of 3 things about fall that I'm looking forward to, I am looking forward to finally breaking out my solo stove fire pit and getting to use that for a little bit. Sit out, enjoy a fire, have some cigars, and enjoy a nice evening outside with that. I am looking forward to, like I said, getting the hoodies out, getting the putting away the short sleeves and kind of just being able hoodie and shorts / hoodie and jeans weather is just amazing. I love it. So that's good. I'm not a pumpkin spice latte guy. I do enjoy like apple stuff, and it seems like the fall is when you get a lot of the apple, kind of spicy kind of stuff, apple cider, and, although that does tend to then parlay right into pumpkin spice, and that's different. That's not what I want. What else do Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year, because, the thing about Thanksgiving is you get all the best parts of Christmas with none of the gift giving responsibility. You get the big meal, you get to see family and friends and that kind of thing, and you have no gift giving responsibility. And I love that. What else about fall? It typically starts getting cool enough that I can stop having my lawn care guys come and cut my lawn, and then I can start saving that money again. Because I would like to do that. I don't know, man. I just fall is my favorite time of year. for so many things. You start getting into chilly weather, you can start having, cook some chili. I'm not admittedly the biggest football watcher these days. I used to be much bigger into it. I got very disenfranchised when the Rams left St. Louis, because, the way that went down was really shitty. And so, I don't know. I'm not the biggest football watcher. But there's that for those people who are. I don't know. I really do enjoy fall, but I'd have to say my fire pit, my hoodies, and mosquitoes tend to start going away. It starts getting cool enough out that mosquitoes go away, and that's good, because if there's one thing I truly hate more than anything in this world, it's getting bit up by mosquitoes, and that tends to happen in the late spring and into the summer. So I'm good with the mosquitoes dying and going away. So anyway, yeah. So there's that. Paul, thank you so much for the call, man. I appreciate it. And, it's always a pleasure to hear from you. So anyway, with that, let's go ahead and close out the Ask the Pulpit segment. Guys, you can get your calls in by calling the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. Alrighty. And we're burning right along through this Aladino Cameroon robusto here. It's good. It's a nice, you get that little bit of spice from the Corojo. The Cameroon's got a little bit of the kind of soft sweetness, and but it's a nice, good. It's more of a medium, light medium, that Aladino offers, and it's nice. It's very pleasant. So, all right, let's move along and do this now. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report. Brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. All right, guys. In terms of what I've been watching this week, I have been... the newspaper has taken up a lot of my time this week, just because it's probably no secret to everybody that the economy has not been great. And so my advertising has been kind of down this month. And, well, it actually kind of started in July. August wasn't like... August, I had a few things that helped me out. September was rough. And so I'm kind of been having to focus a lot on work this week. And so in terms of watching TV, I've really just been sitting out in the garage and watching Sopranos and continuing my watch on that. I'm now into the 4th season of 6. And so, I have that going on. So in terms of what I've been watching, it's really the same old stuff. Now, I will say, I did see that the new season of Tulsa King is starting on Paramount Plus. I still need to watch the 2nd season. However, for those of you who are caught up on that, I really did enjoy the 1st season, and I know that they're smoking cigars in that show quite a bit. So, if you're looking for a show that supports, the cigar habit, Tulsa King is right there. In fact, I think I saw a screenshot from the 2nd season where I think it was Sylvester Stallone's character smoking a Perdomo. So they're you can actually identify, what cigars they're smoking. So that's kind of cool. In terms of identifying cigars they're smoking, by the way, shout out to Noah. He's a big Seattle Mariners fan, and they clinched their playoff position. And they were celebrating, and there's one photo that he sent me where one of the players is smoking a cigar, and he's like, and he thought he knew what the cigar was, and he asked me, and I looked at it, and I'll be damned if he was dead on. This player was smoking a Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real Nicaragua, and the Blue Band one, and I was like, yep, man, that's that. And he's like, I love this even more because I know Noah and I both really enjoy that cigar. So that's kind of cool, you know. It's fun when you see people smoking something and you know, like that, and you can actually identify what the cigar is. So I don't know, something neat. I know that so I've got my son this weekend, so you know I'm going to be going down the Thomas and Storybots road and all of the typical cartoons with him. The drive-in has been doing a lot of like horror movies and things like that. So I think this weekend on one screen they have Friday the 3rd. Hang on, I can actually tell you for what it's worth. I've been fascinated by this. This weekend is Friday the 13th and The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing on one screen, and then Chopping Mall and Silver Bullet on the other screen. So, you know, it's a good time to be hitting up the drive-through or drive-in. I'm not going to be able to this weekend, but then the next weekend, the first weekend of October, they'll be doing like a pre-Slash Fest, I think, and they've got some movies set for that, and so I'll definitely be there for that. I don't know. It's entertainment wise, it's been a little light. It's just work. I don't know. It's been work. I'll tell you what, you know, if you're a small, if anybody's listening and you're a small business owner and you know, own a business that your newspaper will actually like advertise, I would take cigar shops all day long. I don't understand any company, media company that would turn away. I've heard Dave, you know, talk on the Cigar Authority, about the troubles of trying to purchase advertising for two guys. I don't understand that one bit. I mean, at this point, even if I had a weed dispensary come and ask me for buying ad space in the paper, I would take that in a heartbeat. You know, it's just one of those things that I'm not in a position to be picky these days, and I don't understand. But no, I was gonna say, if you're a small business owner, and you know, the only thing I would say is keep in mind that sometimes you got to spend a little money to make a little money, and so it never hurts to put your brand out there for you know, for customers to remember you. It might be one of those things where like, oh yeah, I that guy, you know, so, who knows? I would just say that check with, your local, if you have a local newspaper, cause if they're anything like me, they're making deals and they are willing to make some deals to, bring in some advertising revenue. So something to keep in mind. All right. Ooh, I was unprepared. For this episode. And so I did not, of course, why would this possibly, what, you know, anyway, I was unprepared, and didn't have, a Blackbird story pulled. So I'm actually Googling that right now. Yeah, this is like live on the fly. I was so worried about having a actual point to this this episode, getting the calls and everything else that I completely forgot about that. So, all right, we're good now. Let's do this. It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars, can't clip our wings. Alrighty, so Betty Reed Soskin, who only recently retired at the age of 100, spent her life making a lasting impact on her community. She lived in Richmond, California, and worked tirelessly to make sure the voices and stories of African Americans and women were not forgotten. During World War II, Betty worked as a file clerk for the U.S. Air Force, and later she and her husband opened one of the first black-owned record stores in the Bay Area. But her greatest contribution came decades later, when she became involved in the creation of the Rosie the Riveter / World War II Homefront National Historical Park. She realized that the original plans for the park left out the stories of black women who had played a critical role in the wartime workforce but faced discrimination and segregation. Betty pushed to make sure their contributions were included. Because of her advocacy, the park's exhibits now represent a fuller, more truthful history of America during that time. At the age of 85, she became a national park ranger, the oldest active ranger in the United States, and gave talks to thousands of visitors, inspiring them with her lived experience and her determination to create a more inclusive community narrative. Betty's work ensured that future generations would understand not only the sacrifices of women during World War II, but also the struggles for civil rights and equality in her community. So be like Betty Reed Soskin and Blackbird Cigars, and don't let anybody clip your wings. Thought that was a nice story, and it came up quickly in the old search there. So anyway, you know what? Going back to something that came up during the Ask the Pulpit thing. If there's somebody that you think I should have on the show that I should truly try, and within reason, don't tell me, Bill Burr or I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Give me people that like I can legitimately touch base with and get on and see if I can get on. If you guys have suggestions, shoot me a message. Nick@cigarpulpit.com is my email. You can always reach out through the socials. I'm on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook, where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. You can get in on the fun there by finding the private group and requesting access. And then Twitter /X. You can watch this on Rumble and YouTube. And then for those of you who use Spotify, I do Spotify video as well. So you can, let me know suggestions there. Call the hotline, area code 863-874-0000. Call in and tell me who you think I should try to have on the show. I want to try and build, I've been saying this so much. I want to build a calendar. I'm so incredibly jealous that when I hear Dave talking about how the Cigar Authority is plotted out into like mid next year and all this kind of thing, it's like, oh my God, how much nicer would it be if I just knew what was going to come along and I can pivot, I can always, I've got some level of flexibility, because, I do 2 a week and everything like that. But, so like I can have things like the interview with Josh Herbersky from PCA that I did last episode. I can slot that in, as needed, but, it would be nice to have a general outline and calendar. And this is why I'm telling you, I don't know if I mentioned this in the Lotto episode or not. I want a personal assistant. I just want somebody who just follows me around all the time and just knows exactly what I need when I need it and has it done. I would love to have a personal assistant that I could be like, hey, let's build a calendar. Let's do this, and that kind of thing. And somebody that I can just have all of it figured out. That would be just an amazing, amazing thing. Because, man, realistically, there's just not enough hours in the day. And then when there are extra hours, I'm tired and I don't want to do it. You know, and I still push it. But still it's like, oh God, I would love to have a personal assistant. That would be nice. That would be something I would do if I won the lottery. I don't think I mentioned that in that episode, but I'm adding it. It's an addendum now. I would hire a personal assistant that would just, take care of my life, keep me straight and organized. I think that would be good. Anyway, I think that's that. I kind of hit the socials in the middle of that. So, guys, I appreciate you listening to my ramblings tonight. Hopefully, you've enjoyed it. And, I do have some things coming up. I obviously am, gonna have Luke, my 635 millimeter. For those of you who follow him on Instagram, he's coming to the area to visit, and we're looking at doing a battle of the budgets, revised battle of the budgets, and I'm formulating the list. I'm pulling the list together. Hopefully, I should have the list announced on the next episode. So on Tuesday, I'll have the list for all of you if you want to smoke along with us and kind of see what's what. That'll be coming up. But there's going to be 8 cigars, and we are going to do we're going to do 2 rounds plus a championship round. So round in the 2 rounds, we're going to smoke 4 of them at once. We're going to light them up, get some flavor notes, smoke them a little bit, light up the next one, do the same. And at one point in the show, we're going to have 4 cigars going at the same time. And of those 4, we're going to pick what we think is the best of those 4 that will then move on. And then do that again with another 4. And then we'll have the championship round where the 2 winners go up against each other. Now, when we're smoking them 4 at a time in the 2 early rounds, they will be unbanded and they will be blind. We won't know what they are. And that's by design. So there's no influence into, what it is. Now, obviously some cigars have, distinguishing characteristics that may help or hurt. We know what's what, but the bands will be off, and, at the end of the episode, we'll announce, what each one was and, what wins and moves on. But, yeah, so that's coming up, here shortly. Cause he's coming into town the first weekend of October. And, so it'll be following that. Mid-ish October, early to mid October, we'll have the battle of the budgets, taking place. And the other thing, criteria wise, last time I did it, I think it was cigars under $5. This time we are going cigars under $8, and, it has to be a Toro or a robusto, size. So no like weird, no like Coronas and no, like cigarellos, so unfortunately like the Villiger export, for example, won't count, for this or anything like that. We're looking for, a full size smoke for under $8 that, can be our battle of the budgets, winner for 2025. Cause it's been a while since I've done this, and, it's kind of sad, and it's kind of a state of the industry to a degree. At the last time I did this, I was able to do 16 cigars under $5 and come to a winner. This time I upped the price to $8. Because I didn't really want to circle back and do the same cigars that we did the last time. I wanted to have a new crop of cigars. But I had to go to $8. And what's shocking to me is how difficult it is to find cigars in that price range. There are cigars that you would think of and you'd be like, oh, that's a cheap cigar, and I say cheap, but I don't mean bad, but you know what I mean? It's an affordable cigar, but holy shit, some of them are more expensive than you'd think. And you mentally you're thinking, oh, that's a budget friendly cigar. But then when you actually look, you're like, shit, that thing's over $10. And when did that happen? So no, we're pulling together the list. We'll have that. I'll have that ready to announce to all of you on Tuesday's show, so that if you want to track them down and get them yourself so that you can smoke along with us, I think that would be a fun thing to do. So anyway, that's that. Guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. It's always appreciated. This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody, stay safe and stay smoky. Take it easy, everyone.